Now at 6, an apartment complex in Oregon City goes up in flames overnight. Sunrise reporter Ashley Grams will have the latest for us.
And a new residential treatment center is coming to East Burnside. Why not everyone is celebrating. Plus,
this gives me goosebumps. We will win the challenge of mental health when we reduce the stigma.
A look at how a new crisis line is helping construction workers feel more comfortable talking about their mental health. The 6 o'clock hour of Sunrise starts right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Thursday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. It has been a good morning so far.
Yeah.
We have more good morning to come. Rodney Hill, Chris McGinnis, bring us the weather and traffic, please.
I can't explain it, but I am in a good mood this morning. Yes. All right, here we go. We have cloudy skies. The sun is up. You can't see it because the clouds are solid here on the west side. You can see the green. That's radar picking up rain offshore. And this is a day that will be the dry start, but the wet, rainy finish. There's our state capitol down in Salem. You see the clouds are widespread across the area. Number out of PDX is 51. We'll still be dry at noon, 57. We may just get up to 60 before raindrops begin. That's mid-afternoon. And then rain still likely through your drive back home, 56 with the raindrops at 5 p.m. Here's Chris.
Actually helps the morning commute when it's dry, and we are dry and traffic is rolling right along. This is Interstate 84, the Banfield out near 82nd Avenue. Again, westbound commute moving from right to left. That looks good. The headlights in this shot, that's eastbound on the Sunset near Murray Boulevard. That too in pretty good shape. So far, guys, as we look down to the south, no problems on I-5 either, and we are rolling along at a greater than a speed limit clip this morning.
All right, thank you, Chris. Developing this morning, an overnight fire at an apartment complex off Highway 213 in Oregon City.
The Sunrise reporter Ashley Grams was there this morning and breaks down what we know.
The fire is out now, but the damage to a few of these apartments is extensive. These balconies just completely burned. You could see where the flames came through these sliding glass windows. We're just off Highway 213, not far from Clackamas Community College. Oregon City police tell us the fire started at about 3 this morning, and they say no one was hurt. A resident shared this video with us early this morning. He says he woke up hearing the fire, the cracking of wood. Clackamas firefighters rushed in to help. It looks like about 4 units are affected. There's still no word on what caused this fire. We've reached out to Clackamas County for more information. In Oregon City, Ashley Grams, KGW News.
I mean, I can't even look at this with a straight face.
Portland City Council fired back on the mayor's proposed budget for homelessness during a work session yesterday.
So that was City Councilor Loretta Smith we just saw there a moment ago. She says it doesn't make sense for the city to spend $100 million on homeless services while also cutting jobs. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is covering this story for us live outside City Hall. So Thomas, let's get to what else was said during yesterday's meeting.
Well, Drew, just based off that snippet and a little bit more from what was said yesterday, this was a contentious and pretty heated meeting and back and forth between City Councilor Loretta Smith and City Administrator Michael Jordan. Now, throughout this little back and forth, Smith says that it just doesn't make sense for the city to spend $100 million on homeless services. Instead, she says those services are supposed to be handled under the Multnomah County Housing Department. In the back and forth, Smith questioned why so much money was being spent on this when the city's also proposing to slash many jobs to make up for a $93 million shortfall.
We have $100 million worth of homeless services in our budget. I'd say that would make up the 20% that you're trying to cut off in fall. And why is it that you all can break rules and regulations? We can't. Our employees can't. And so you hold their feet to the fire, and I'm going to hold your feet to the fire.
Well, Counselor, it's a proposed budget. It's not adopted.
And after that, Smith went on to say this budget has no respect for employees and pits city workers against homeless people.
But see, you're swapping one group for another. You're saying, okay, who's more important, homeless folks or our folks? And you're pitting those two against each other. And now our folks are going to have to go on the unemployment line.
And in that same meeting, Loretta Smith's comments got some pushback from her fellow city councilors, including Steve Novick, who says if we're yelling about this budget to anybody, it should be to Mayor Keith Wilson. Now, the city councilors will meet once again on Friday to continue another work session about this budget. Guys, they got to get this finalized by June 11th. Drew, China.
And Thomas, thank you for that. In the meantime, Multnomah County says it plans to stop handing out tents and tarps to people living on the street.
So this new policy will start right after Memorial Day weekend on Tuesday, May 27th, although the county says it will still hand them out during severe cold weather. The county also says separate individual outreach programs can still hand out their own supply of tents and tarps. And Multnomah County will still hand out other supplies like hygiene kits, sleeping bags, and blankets. County leaders say they want to move away from tent and tarp distribution to focus instead on getting people off the street.
I want to, really make clear that our goal is to make sure that people in our community are safe and housed. And as we build more shelter beds and place more people in housing, our need to hand out supplies to help people survive will decrease. And that's a good thing. And this rule reflects that.
This is also an important acknowledgement about the real impacts that unmanaged encampments have on public health, safety, accessibility, livability. And I know we can do better.
We support the county's decision. We want to see more people get into shelters, housing.
Changing its policy on handing out tents and tarps is expected to save the county close to $1 million. Again, the change in policy goes into effect on May 27th.
Drug overdose deaths in Oregon and across the country have fallen for the first time in years. So according to a new report from the CDC, Oregon saw about 1,500 overdose deaths in 2024, which is 22% fewer than the year before. Nationally, deaths fell by nearly 27% year over year. However, overdose is still the leading cause of death for Americans 18 to 44 years old.
A new residential treatment center is opening on Portland's east side to help people struggling with substance abuse. It's called 16 and Burn, named for its location along East Burnside, and its opening comes after months of delays. It's a former hostel space that can accommodate up to 74 people. They'll be able to stay for several months after going through detox and will work towards permanent housing. Community leaders are celebrating this milestone, but some neighbors, not so much.
I'm really happy that they received their funding and are able to serve this population, but I just think their choice of location was really poor.
And this center is going to be a beacon, another place for folks to enter recovery.
The center says it worked with neighbors and addressed their concerns, and added that the center will only be open to people that come with referrals. All right, starting later today, free life jackets will be available at several popular swimming spots along the Sandy River. Corbett Fire and AMR teamed up to place life jacket stands with more than 100 free life jackets at 3 locations: Lewis and Clark Park, Dabney Park, and Glen Otto Park on the east side of the Sandy River Bridge. There are life jackets available in both child and adult sizes.
Your time now is 6:08. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at the weather.
Hey, good morning. It is just a nice, quiet, cloudy morning out there. No rain chance in Portland through the noon hour today. Radar is picking up rain offshore, and then very plainly right in here you can see the solid cloud deck that's blanketing Oregon and Washington on the west sides of our state. So a reminder, we're dry this morning, we're dry at noon, we have rain coming in this afternoon. It's going to be raining when if you're going to work and you get off at 5 o'clock today, it will be raining at that time. 56 degrees, rain cooled at 5 p.m. I'll show you more on that in a second. Here are the numbers out the door. And where we have been, right? 45 Happy Valley looks to be the cool spot. The rest of us are generally 47, 48, or 50. It's 50 out in Canby this morning. Here's that timeline for the rain. This does pick up rain showers around the noon hour along the coast. And then somewhere between 2 and 3, we start to see raindrops moving into Portland. There's the late afternoon rain. There's the rain into this evening. And then it breaks into showers. Nothing stormy, and most of that's just going to be some nice, needed, gentle rain moving across the area. Temperatures, most of today will only be in the 50s. Again, I don't think we're going to see the sun, so we're not going to warm up much this morning. And then, of course, the raindrops will keep us cool this afternoon. This shows only 51 in Newport at 4 p.m., 56 in Salem. 60s where it will be dry during the day over in Madras and Bend, and also John Day and Baker City. Our 7-day forecast getting closer to the weekend. Tomorrow still a pretty quiet day. Reason to believe there will be at least a shower threat. A lot of clouds, 65. And then we have that active Saturday. Frequent showers. We've got some heavy downpours mixed in, maybe some hail showers. Sunday back to pretty quiet with a shower chance. A little weak system on Monday. It doesn't look like much. And then finally, a day with 0 rain chance, it looks like, Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, with temperatures warming up to around 70 degrees. That's your update.